the theme for today is dreams. And in context to my talk today here, like it translates to cherish ambition or aspiration, I suppose. So this takes me back to the year 2008. So let me ask you, what were the movies that was released? Do you remember? Hollywood movies or superhero movies that was released in 2008?
The Dark Knight.
Yes, The Dark Knight. And for Marvel?
Iron Man.
Yes, Iron Man, the first sequel of Iron Man. I was really impressed by the high-tech computers that Tony Stark, means the main character of the movie, used. Like, I noticed the scientific, like how the futuristic science was embedded to portray the story, to make it appreciable even by the non-comic fans. Right? Am I right? Yes. So, do you wish, anyone here wishes to use that system? Yeah. Like his holographic computer system I'm talking about. So this is where it gets very interesting. That time, I was not that technologically updated. Like, I didn't know what were the recent technologies. And I had no idea how could I build a system like that. But as a child that time, I thought having that in my room was the coolest thing. Like I could brag about it in front of my friends. And as my friends think me as a crazy guy. As I already mentioned, that I have a very close circle of friends. So that period of time, I really saw a dream. One night, there was a real dream. I'm not talking about, I'm not sticking to the topic here, or a theme. But yes, I really had a dream. I dreamt that I was using the same system and I was Iron Man in fact. I was wearing his suit and I was Iron Man. Like, that dream left a very, it left an impression on me. Later, when I went to school, I told my friends, I would like to set up a system. I would like to have a system like Iron Man does. But that time, my friends made fun of me. Like, they thought it to be impractical. Like, we watch superhero movies and we want to be Superman. That was like everyone's dream when we were kids. We want to fly, we would jump the beds, on top of the beds. Thinking us to be Superman, right? Everyone did? Yes. Yeah, I too did that. So later, I had sleepless nights. Seriously, sleepless nights. Because I had a tough time figuring out having a system like that. So I had, it was having a bad impact on my studies too. Because I was too much associated with discovering new things, inventing new stuffs. And even like we are in a society where we don't fulfill our dreams. We are forced to fulfill the dream of our parents. Everyone needs an engineering or a doctor degree. But that point of time, I myself faced those issues because my parents also wanted. As my class 10th examination was approaching, I was totally barred from using computers. Imagine a situation where you were about to invent something and you were barred from using computer and internet. That can be a nightmare. So what I did was, I lied to my parents. I went to my friend's house. He's right here, my friend is right here today. He's Ritimal. I went to his house one night and I told my parents that I will study with him. Like, we'll do group study. He had a very high-speed internet connection. So I went there and that period, that time, back then, I didn't have an internet connection. 3G dongles were just available and Tata Photon Plus was it went off. The company stopped providing the service. So that time I had a tough thing, but he had a broadband connection. That wasn't critical for me. And that night, I told him, you sleep, let me work on your computer. I don't need food, I don't need anything. All I need is the access to your internet. And probably he's the only guy who believed that I could build a system like that. He's the one only, because all other friends thought me crazy. because they thought that I am kid again, like I'm a kid. I wanted to be Iron Man or Tony Stark. So that was impossible at that point of time. Later, when I gave my 10th examination, but I didn't stop working. Frankly speaking, I didn't stop working. My uncle is also here with me. He also helped me a lot because he also had a broadband connection. And that time, I made a system which you might everyone might be aware of, but you can Google it. It's called a Revo book. That's a system that doesn't use a hard disk or an SSD. It uses a microchip, electronic programmable microchip, which works as a hard disk itself. So I would not like to bring the topic here for now because we have very less time, and that was quite a controversy out there. So let me speak about the Iron Man system only. Later in class 10, when I didn't score much. My CGPA was 8.6, so it was hard for me to get into a good school. But luckily I got into Don Bosco Panvaja, and all my friends out there had scored 10 points. So that mingling with them was the toughest challenge for me. All the genius, they were sticking to books. No one had time to even talk to each other, and there was no option for them to talk about other stuff like games, computers and stuff. That was they were being prepared to joining military. They were forced to go to IIT, go to medical. But my parents, thankfully, they didn't let me go into any coaching. Later in class 11, when I was working on this particular system, it was the finals, means class 11 class final, and the other next day was my maths exam, and maths is a big thing for me. I don't know, whenever I see those numbers and equations, I feel sleepy. So the next day was my maths exam, and I studied a bit, or recognition a bit. So at 3 AM I started, I thought, let's not sleep, because my exams were I had to catch the bus for Don Bosco at 6 AM from Hatigao. So I thought, sleeping now, again I will get up at 8 o'clock and I'll miss my exam. I started my computer, and that period I was experimenting with some prototypes for this. That fine day, the dream that I have been dreaming about, the thing I have been dreaming about building a computer system. That fine day, at exactly 4:15 AM, as I remember, I created. I was able to produce a transparent holographic projection. So that night, I couldn't tell it to my parents, nor my friends, because they will think that this guy is not studying. The whole night he has been wasting building this system. The morning, when it was morning, it was 6 AM and I had to catch my bus. All my friends were discussing, this will come, my algebra is there, inequalities will be coming. I really am trigonometry. That's my biggest enemy. So when they were discussing about this, those were Greek for me. I didn't have any idea what they were discussing. Later in the examination, the most difficult challenge for me was sitting those 3 hours. I was sleepy, and at a point of time, after say 1 hour, I fell asleep. And my teacher was like, Afreed, please write something. At least 5 marks. But I really failed that test, and that was a bad year for me. Class 11 was a bad year for me, for my parents also. Because I was busy experimenting. So for the Assamese society, that's the biggest, that's the most horrific thing that can ever happen to a student's life. Someone failing in class 11, that too from such a prestigious school, Don Bosco Panvaja, and for the principal out there, Like, he had his worst days, I guess. Every day he used to call my parents right after the results. Like, your child, he's of no use. You should take him out, or you should change his stream to arts. But arts that time was like, I don't want to buy out so much of things. I can cope up with physics, I can cope up with chemistry, but studying history is not my cup of tea. So later, I dropped out of Don Bosco. And right now I'm pursuing my class 12. Somehow I'm pursuing my class 12. At least I reached. So, dreaming about a system and fulfilling that dream is quite a challenge. But once your dream becomes true, like for me, that was worth anything in the world. That moment, everyone has an eureka moment, but that moment, that particular moment for me was the best moment. That marks, that engineering, that jobs, that money can give me. I was satisfied. I was enjoying. And right now, like my friends who laughed at me when I told them that I am building a system like that. My friends, you can see, this is true. This is true. I fulfilled my dream, but you are running after someone else's dream. You're running after your parents' dream. I would like to name it. Then I didn't come up with a name, but still, this is a temporary name, Project XVU. X, which is as in mathematics. So let's call it as a name. X is not defined. Always we have to find in each and every question almost we have to find X. So that's the X. XVU, that's an undefined display. So let me. Okay. So you can see that's a treated glass. That's a piece of glass, and it's completely 100% transparent. And that's projecting, trapping light. And I believe in open hardware. I'm an open source guy. I believe in open hardware. I don't want guys to keep secrets when it comes to technology, because that's freedom. You, like anyone, can build this system. It's right there in your bathroom. Yes, that semi-transparent shower curtains that we used, that was the first thing that I used while building this. But now for that, it's a treated glass. So this is a holographic model, holographic model. This is one more sample. So that's not Iron Man, but I will be showing Iron Man soon, like Mark 42 or something like that. But that's our robot. So this is a particular system. It, as I said, you can use your shark curtains to build a system. Because I have a website which goes by the name AfreedIslam.com only. Like it's under development, and I will be uploading the entire process to build it very soon. And not only this, all my inventions will be open. Like everyone can build it at your home, like with all things that are easily available in the markets. Friends, I believe people dream, but those dreams should not be barred, or there should be no border. People should dream, and dream is the base of creativity. Yes, dream is the base of creativity. Like if you can't dream, how will you design something? If you don't have it in your mind, if you can't imagine it, that's for me it's impossible to build. I can't build things which I don't when people tell me, Afreed, can you build this? The first answer that I tell them is no, because I never imagined of that. I like to build only I like to build whatever I dream about, whatever I like. I don't want to fulfill someone else's wish. And right now, I'm in a great pressure right now, because it's a peak time for me to go for entrances, go for engineering, go for in fact, TEDxTezpurUniversity entrance exam. So my parents are under pressure too, because every wedding that I attend right now, I don't go to weddings, but sometimes I have to, I'm forced to go. So whenever I go, the first question people ask me, like aunties and uncles, specifically, so they ask me, what are you doing? Did you complete the entrance? That's my life. I am free. I should not answer anyone. I'm not supposed to. I can do everything. I can do anything I wish. All that matters is personal satisfaction. If you are satisfied, if you think that yes, this is the thing you have always wanted, then you are successful. For me, success is personal satisfaction. So when you go home today or go back to your hostels, sit down for a second. Switch off all your phones. Disconnect yourself from Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. Stop chatting with your boyfriends and girlfriends. Take a time alone. Sit for 5 minutes. And note down all that you have dreamt about. Like all that you have been dreaming about since your childhood. And put a tick mark on everything that you fulfilled. Did you fulfill your dreams? Did you fulfill your dreams? That's a question. So go home, try to figure it out, which are the dreams that are left to be fulfilled, and which are dreams, and whose dreams are you following? That's the biggest question. And with this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.